Howdy, folks. My name is Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, my name is Ray, and my pronouns are he, him.
And I'm Mars, and my pronouns are they, them. And it's time to pull a meal ticket from the deck of friendship. This is a podcast where we review anime that are based on games in some description. Not this one, really, but you know. It's Fighting Foodons, Episode 2, Pie Tin Power. And,
So episode 2.
So episode two.
How are we feeling? I just want to know, how are we feeling? Just real quick.
I love this show so much.
I do still love the show, yes.
Episode 2 is a bit weaker than episode 1.
Yes, it is.
I would say yes.
But that's okay.
In some regards. I would say pun-wise weaker, but there's something real special about this week's episode. I don't know what it was. It had a certain something.
Well, this week's episode felt like it was telling a story.
Unlike last week where
and yeah.
Sorry.
So I think that this episode definitely had a certain something for me. Or should I say certain
dumpling. Hey, could someone do an info dumpling and go through the plot for me?
I love you, Ray, so much. So, in this week's episode, we meet a young child named Pie Tin.
Yes.
Whose parents loved him so much that they named him Pie Tin.
I was worried, like, that there were going to be food named characters. So far, it's just Pie Tin.
Just Pie Tin. Like, you can't eat the Pie Tin.
No.
You can try,
and
but you can't.
Here's the thing, I don't know what I was expecting for the names from this show.
Mm-mm.
And so far, they have all been so, so different. They're all so different.
Yeah.
We've got Chase and Kayla, the main characters, and Chef Jack, their dad. Oslo, Clawdia, and now
King Gorge.
And now
King
Pie
Gorge,
Tin.
and now Pie Tin.
That's all over.
That's all the names. We listed names. All of the names that people can be.
Of humans.
Mm-hmm.
Of humans.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they humans? We don't know.
Claudia.
I wonder why Claudia, is a cat girl.
Yeah, I want to know, too.
I love her so much, but also, is she, a foodon or something? Or is there, some explanation as to why there's just cat girls in this universe?
Now, so far, it's just her.
Right.
Everyone else has been human.
I would easily, it would be way easier for me to accept it if there were literally any other cat people around.
It has to
not
be
a
special.
Single one.
It
not
has
a
to
one.
Be special, right?
Yeah, it has to be
way.
special in some way.
I'm one of a kind.
Ooh, what if she's an experiment?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
On.
Okay.
Somebody tried to fuse a foodon with their pet cat and got Claudia.
I'm so sorry, sweetie.
Okay, so
anyway,
there's actually, here's the thing. I feel like first episode we were like, what even is the lore? What even is the story? What is anything? And even what are the themes? And I don't even know if we have that question answered yet. But we're starting to get...
I think we do.
I got a couple of themes.
There's a few themes.
I'm ready.
I'm ready for this.
Ready to dissect.
There's already some solid themes, but I don't know. I'm just wondering how far it's going to go, I guess.
The way.
But this
Hopefully
episode...
all the way. You hope all the way.
You hope all the way. This episode did sort of help establish this as a real physical world that exists, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because episode 1 literally felt like a fever dream.
Yeah.
It's
really
not a
did.
joke. Everything that happened in episode 1 felt like it wasn't happening in real life.
Yeah, I felt like I could keep track of this one.
Yeah,
there's a rule when you're making comics that you should, at least once a page, have a background, and then you can save time by not drawing the background in the other panels. And I feel like in episode 1, it's like they did that, but with no backgrounds ever. They had an establishing shot, and then they were like, all right, there you go. That's what you get. Have fun. Try to remember where we're at. Try to keep up.
Yeah. The background in this is just town still.
It's just town.
But it makes, it's
town,
grounded
but we
in the
know
characters,
where they are.
and,
yes.
we know more about the town a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a different town.
There are other humans going around doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And apparently this town has not been occupied by the gluttons yet.
No. And here's the other thing. I want to talk about the gluttons really quick, because we got some new stuff on the gluttons.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about the gluttons.
So, okay. So there's something that interested me a lot in this episode, in that the gluttons specifically have been called King Gorge's gluttons, which implies that there are potentially other gluttons that are under the control of somebody else.
Potentially.
Maybe.
So
that also, like, lends credence. It's like, is it all over for the gluttons? Could we maybe, could we...
Chase goes through a dark arc where he becomes a glutton for someone that's not King Gorge.
Now, are gluttons humans, or are they something else?
They look like humans.
We saw humans
under the robes.
They do look like humans, right?
They're
human adjacent.
We've seen robed men and then soldier men and Clawdia.
So
yes.
So okay, yeah, right. Clawdia calls herself a glutton.
Mm-hmm.
So
for King Gorge. So
glutton, I guess, is just just the name for these soldiers.
Maybe.
I suppose.
Maybe.
So I'm just trying to figure out if the gluttons are being like, outside of Clawdia, are the general grunt gluttons being like mind controlled, or did they sign up?
I don't know. They all chant in time, which kind of
they practiced really
hints
hard.
Mind control, or they practiced. I also I wonder if there seems to be different levels of glutton, and the only way I can identify the hierarchy is that there is a king.
There's a king.
And also there's a Clawdia, which we don't really know where Clawdia stands in the ranks, but it does seem to be higher than the rest of the gluttons.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Because they were all chanting while she walked down the aisle and put a card in a stoop.
She also doesn't have any gluttons under her control.
Right, she doesn't have any henchmen. She tried to get one in this episode, but it didn't work because she's bad at it.
Yeah.
Now, I want to continue the plot here, but I do want to mention the fact that we get great villain characterization here.
Mm-hmm.
We get more world information. This town is literally afraid of just mentioning gluttons.
Oh, yeah.
Every time Python went around and asked about gluttons, people
we should talk about why. Let's talk about why
for a second.
Let's go there.
So this episode opens with Python. He looks over this ledge that he's sitting on, and he sees his parents being put in cages by the gluttons, who are still chanting their funny chant. And he goes, "Mommy, Daddy!" And then Chase and Kayla's dad, Chef Jack, pulls him backwards and is like, You gotta be quiet, kid. The gluttons are gonna hear you. And if you want to rescue your parents, we can do it when the time is right. Now's not the time for that, but we'll do it eventually. But for now, don't give our position away, because we'll get captured." And he's like, that sucks.
And then this adult stranger man gives him a hug, and it was very uncomfortable for me.
He's trying to comfort this small child whose parents just got jailed. And then he disappears. And then, Chef Jack is just like, well, this kid will be fine.
And then Python's like, no, I gotta save them now. I have to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to the events of the episode.
Yeah.
Yes, then we're in the town.
Chef Jack felt no obligation to check in on Python after this. And I think he even, reprimands Python's parents for getting caught.
Chef Jack, oh no.
So,
Chef Jack, oh no. Chef, first name Chef, last name Jack.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's why their name.
That's not what you're supposed to do. He's like, I've already got 2 mouths to not feed. I don't need another one.
Oh no.
Chef Jack has no responsibility, just a, drive to topple something.
Chef Jack shouldn't be a father.
Yeah, he wants to live his action hero dreams of toppling a fascist regime all by himself. Meanwhile, his children are being attacked by a kitty girl.
Yeah.
And having to cook for themselves. Also, from Jack's perspective, let's think about this. Let's think about this from Chef Jack's perspective.
Okay.
Your children help you destroy the monument of King Gorge, and they free you from prison, and also the town of whatever that town was called. I forget. Gorgetown. You free the prisoners of Gorgetown, including an old man on a flying saucer named Oslo, and you just like set your children off to Viridian City with a floating man that you don't really know. Like, they didn't have any interactions.
No,
from what I remember.
No, they were apparently friends. They were apparently friends, but they had no interaction whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave, and now Chef Jack saves one person. Listen, your kids just saved an entire city. You saved a small child by telling him not to worry about his parents getting captured. And then you dropped the child off in the next town over, supposedly, and your children were there. Didn't really say hey to them or anything.
No.
But Python made it there safely, so we can only assume that it's because of Chef Jack in one fashion or another.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'm curious to know what Chef Jack's thought process was at the end of the first episode when he decided to leave his kids. Like, what are the kids gonna do? Like, do they have a plan? Is their plan just to travel around and, like be rebel chefs? Did they share this information with their father?
Yeah,
well, supposedly Chase is trying to become a better cook, but if Jack is already a good cook, then I feel like maybe it would make sense for to stay.
Yeah.
It would make sense for him to stay no matter what, but we don't get any of Chef Jack's thought process ever. He just shows up.
In the original version, there was a lot of internal monologue from Chef Jack that we just don't get.
Honestly, Chef Jack is really trying to be Batman. Like,
he's Goku. He's Goku levels of dad.
Yeah.
Like he's Goku dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's Goku dad, and Oslo is Piccolo dad.
Okay, let's get back. Oh my! Can we actually
prove me wrong? Prove me wrong.
You know what? Can we talk about Oslo for a second? Because I'm still
It's very interesting how he did nothing this episode.
I'm so suspicious of this dude still. Like, even more now. Like, he didn't do anything in this episode but make a couple of snide comments.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm even more deeply suspicious of this dude. Because...
So, I have a theory.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Because, one, yeah, you're right. Like, Oslo says that he's friends with Chef Jack, but they don't have any interactions. Was Oslo just hiding? Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing. They were
standing next to each other in episode 1 at the end. They were there together.
All right, they were there together. You're right. But
they didn't talk to each other.
Not even hey, old friend. Like, they don't acknowledge each other. Right. Here's the other thing about it, is that in this episode, Oslo is in a completely different outfit and it's like this like weird imperial getup with like fancy like pauldrons and stuff. And it's like, where did you get that? What is up with you, dude? I don't like it.
Yeah, he does raise some eyebrows, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's
like I just fail to understand his purpose as like, is he a mentor? Because he doesn't ment.
No.
There's no menting going on.
And yeah, if Chase's goal is to become a better chef, it's like in this episode, he seems like he's a really good chef.
Yeah.
So
because he opens the kitchen and makes food for people, and they're like,
and people
this is
really
good.
like it. Like, they all really like it. Ray, you said you had a theory. I don't want to blow past that.
I have a theory that King Glutton is a title that's passed down, and Oslo was the previous King Glutton.
Oh. Oh wow. My God, Ray.
Wow.
Raymond.
I have no basis, but this is what I want.
I love it so much.
Hang on.
What?
Sorry. One moment.
What are you doing?
Just
I'm sorry. I called him King Glutton, King Gorge. Sorry.
You can. I'm doing some research. I'm going in deep. I'm learning the anime secrets.
Are you looking to see if the old king in the flashback is Oslo?
You read me like a book, Raymond.
Yeah, because I was thinking that in episode 1 and I never vocalized it.
Yeah. What now? Is that old king in the flashback supposed to be a King Gorge or a King Gorge?
It's just a king.
Yeah,
it's unclear.
Unclear?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Watch out for that reveal.
No, that's not him.
It's not him. No,
it's not him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but that was good research.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
We look at primary sources here on Deck of Friendship.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So what's happening so theory that Oslo is the previous
a former King Gorge. I am 100% on that. I'm I'm with it. I am 100%
I'll back
with that
it.
theory.
I'll
Yeah,
back
and
it.
then
I'll
King
put
Gorge
my eggs
put
in that
him in
basket for now.
Gorgetown and locked him up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could
Um,
happen.
Makes
How
sense.
else would he have gotten there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Would
Huh?
that mean that Chef Jack was a previous member army of King Gorge Oslo's reign?
And
he's
if
trying to
so,
make
is
up
this
for
just
it.
is Chef Jack trying to reinstate the previous order?
Ooh.
Bum, 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 bum,
What if
bum.
he's like, I miss the good old days?
Yeah, it would explain
Mm.
why he's always disappearing and, like, trying to do his, like, own Rambo thing.
Yeah, it would also explain why he is terrible.
And yeah.
and a bad father?
So, okay. They go into town. I can't remember what happens sequentially, but it's fine. So
Yeah.
Chase,
well,
Chase and Kayla are in the town square. They have it's called the Mac cart, apparently. They have their food cart, and Chase is busting out chili, busting out an omelet, apparently, you know, doing a business, making some money, and like, the people, like, really enjoy his food, apparently. Like, when did this happen?
In between episodes.
I guess so.
In the montage. Didn't you see it? Didn't you see the in-between episodes montage that they aired on TV and only on TV exclusively, nowhere else?
Well, I closed my mind. I went deep into my mind palace, and I opened one of the doors. The door had 30 different locks on it. You know, all of different kinds.
You did that very quickly.
Well, yeah, when you're in your mind palace, it's faster, you know, because, like, there's less distance, because it's just
Mars!
And I opened up the door, and yeah, indeed, there was a secret VHS tape of Chase doing a big montage of, you know, running up and down stairs while chopping onions and stuff.
While running up and down stairs? That sounds dangerous.
That was incredibly dangerous, but when you're a rebel chef, you gotta train. You gotta train hard.
Yes. So they're doing this. Chase is a better chef now. Whether or not
Yes.
that got shown on screen, this is our way of knowing that Chase is a better chef now.
And the burnt meatballs are real bitter about it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you burnt us. You're doing good now, but we exist, and that sucks.
yeah, the burnt meatballs
Yeah.
are quite a set of characters.
I was...
Yeah, like they're like comic relief, but also like kind of existentially horrifying.
Well,
I
yeah,
love them for that. I really
they're like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the paranoid android. You know, that's that kind of character.
Yeah, like they were just made to suffer.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, it sucks.
Cool, Chase.
It sucks
Cool.
for them, but
Cool, Chase.
He didn't
Yeah.
mean to
Hey,
make
Chase,
them.
that's cool.
well, like that's well, here's the thing
I
about
never
it, right?
asked to be made.
Like, Chase, like, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing that I want to think about right now. I want to get real with you, and I want to get serious for a second. With how many rebel chefs there are, with how seemingly common, all, like, meal tickets are, like, and I guess Chase made the burnt meatballs without a meal ticket? I don't know. But,
No, he just made them bad.
right. I don't fully... Whatever. Point is, there have got to be, with all of these chefs practicing, trying to make these great fighting foodons, there's got to be a lot of burnt meatballs in the world.
Well, that's where it's unclear, you know, because like most foodons that we have seen thus far turn back into a card after they're defeated or just after an amount of time, because Fried Ricer was no longer there at the end of episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is to say, Chase didn't make a new fried rice. He just threw the card on the ground and then Fried Ricer came out of it.
Right, and that's why I think that the burnt meatballs were made without a meal ticket, because because in the first episode, Oslo seems to introduce Chase to the idea of meal tickets.
That's true. So how is sentience bestowed upon food?
And not only that, like, the burnt meatballs, like, they don't...
They never go away.
Right,
So-
they
so-
never go away, but, like, that's the thing. Like, if other chefs are out there and, like, this kid Chase did this, like, other chefs do this. So, like, how many burnt foodons are there out there? And, like, is it normal to keep them around?
We're doing more world building than Fighting Foodons will ever do.
I
for
do
sure.
think that they established
It got
episode
2
1.
issues of a manga. Like what I think the final episode of this season should be us reading and talking about the manga. I'm
Yes,
just saying.
I think so too.
I think that in episode 1, they established pretty clearly that you need a meal ticket to make Foodon in the flashback.
That's what they say.
It might be possible with the burnt meatball and omelet, but that's never been said yet.
Now, here's my thinking on it. Is because here's the other thing. Python summons a Foodon, and we'll get into this in a minute. I know, but Python summons a Foodon without placing the meal ticket on a piece of food.
Assuming he's made
And
dumpling
also
before.
Chase does the same thing.
Mhm.
Right. So
And you wonder if it's to save on animation or if that's a function of the card.
Well, that's
But
my
Clawdia did that too.
That's my thinking, right? Is that it's less that the meal tickets are what bestow life onto food, and more that they're just kind of a Pokeball, and they're the transport method for getting the Foodons from place to place.
Yeah. I'm with
This
this
theory works for me.
I'm with this ideology.
This theory works for me until the show throws me a curveball.
Right, yeah, for
Let's
sure.
talk about the show.
Let's talk about the show now. We've spent
Because we're not
show.
even 10 minutes in.
No, not...
That's okay. That's okay. I feel like we're making decent progress because, like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like extended events, but there aren't very many things that happen.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Um,
I just want to get
Python
to the
is-
gluttons.
Python is looking for gluttons, and that's when we find out that this whole town is scared of them. Like he walks around going, "Are you a glutton? Are you a glutton?" And then basically Clawdia sees him asking around, and she's like, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to my prank channel. We're going to throw this little kid through a loop and make him think Chase and Kayla are glutton."
Mm-hmm.
She's doing pranks.
She's doing pranks.
She's
There's not really. It's the thing is that we're not really sure. We didn't find out that Clawdia was going to send this kid after Chase and Kayla when she started messing with Python. We didn't know that that's what she was going to do. We just knew that she was messing with him and like telling him that people were gluttons that weren't gluttons.
Yeah.
Which, like, I was so in love with the idea that she did not have an end goal plan and she was just messing with a child because she thought it was funny.
Yeah, I think she was legitimately just trying to get back at Chase and Kayla for messing
Yeah,
stuff
from
up in the
episode one.
first episode.
Yeah, so she sends this child
like
after Chase and Kayla.
This doesn't further King Gorge's plans at all, and Chase and Kayla like aren't seemingly on King Gorge's radar at all yet.
Right. So she's just like, go mess up these kids.
Yeah.
Go mess
Personal battle.
No, not even go mess up these kids. Go mess with these kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull a prank.
We're gonna
on
go
these
prank
children.
these kids.
And so Python goes to the Mac cart and orders some food, and he's like, I gotta keep my cool, but he's not keeping his cool at all. He's acting very suspicious, but he orders the food and he's like, this is the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. And then he orders like 8 more things.
Yeah.
And he gets distracted. A lot of people getting distracted in this episode.
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, like, I get it. If I'm trying to do something and then like I eat if I'm on a mission, if I'm on a sneaking mission, and then part of that mission is you have to eat some really delicious food, like that's all I'm going to be thinking about. Like I'm not going to be thinking about my mission. What are you talking about?
I'm like, oh no, this super secret mission involves me eating this delicious 4-course meal at a fine dining restaurant.
Your mission
Oh.
is to sit in this restaurant and just eat whatever until the target shows up. Oh, cool. 3 hours later, did I miss the target?
Oh well,
Huh?
Another round.
Another round. More dumplings.
The men in black are covering my tab, so I like to think that Chase and Kayla like would have just kept making for this child forever.
Yeah.
Well,
How much
Kate-
money did they think this child even had in the first place?
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
But he's also a chef.
He is.
I don't know if they knew that, but he is.
I don't think
technically
they
a chef.
knew.
I don't
but-
think they knew.
And Kayla was like not keeping tabs, but she did mention like racking up his money points.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. So, like, at what point are you like, does this child actually have $400?
But on the other hand, like, you know, later Python is like, you know, willing to barter, like, oh, I'll do the dishes, and then even later it's like, oh, I taught you about this thing, and like for the most part, Chase and Kayla are like okay with that. They're willing to trade meals for, you know, they're willing to barter.
It doesn't
Communism.
seem like money's a big issue.
Well, when, you know,
Until Kayla brings it up.
when towns are being overrun by a fascist regime, suddenly money starts to seem a little less important.
A little bit.
Right, yes, of course. Now, I didn't actually have anything to say, so I'm not exactly sure why I spoke up.
Sometimes it just happens. Like, that happens to me a lot. Like, sometimes one of y'all will be talking, and, like, I'll start to say something for some reason. It's like, I don't have anything to say. I'm just making mouth noises for no reason.
Right, welcome to the Mouth Noises podcast.
Yeah.
Where we talk about nothing.
Yeah, no, Ray, you just imitated my exact sounds.
Those are my sounds. Don't take them from me.
I'm taking your sounds, darling.
I want to go back.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I really want to talk about the gluttons and how they're characterized in this episode as a real threat this universe. They don't, because our glutton representation is Clawdia. They don't seem like a big threat, but like people are legit scared. Like there's some sort of secret police that might be looking at them at any moment.
She is the secret
She
police.
might be the secret police.
That's true. But like every time Python says, I'm looking for gluttons, people like hush him and like look around nervously. And that's a lot for this anime to not say outright, but hint at a bigger threat in the future.
Yeah, so
So the rest of this episode after
Claudia does a
Python,
big trick on Python.
Yeah, Python and the money thing and the money and the dishes situation challenges or just starts fighting. Fighting Chase.
Yeah, we're fighting now.
Yeah, and this is the rest of the episode basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a fight between Sir Dumpling and then Chase for some reason sends out Omelette, which is the cute little bee rice thing.
Yeah, we just learned about Omelette. A little bit.
And it goes, Omelette!
Omelette is the little red panda onigiri looking person.
It makes cute noises.
We were talking about last time.
And Chase thought it was a great idea to send Omelette out into a fight against Sir Dumpling, and Kayla says no.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
She stops him from using Omelette because she says something along the lines of like, you can't use Omelette for such a like pointless fight or whatever, which is it. I wonder.
Omelette is the most powerful food on.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the exact same thing.
I know. How competitively viable is Omelette in this case?
Omelette and the burnt meatballs are the two like foodons that will save the day at the end.
When they get into, they're going to introduce later on, I'm saying it now, it's probably going to happen, fusion cuisine, where foodons will fuse together, and Omelette and the burnt meatballs will fuse together, and just
to make an omelet with burnt
meatballs.
To make a plate of rice with burnt meatballs on it,
and it'll be the most powerful foodon. It'll be like nothing else.
Beefsteak times 2.
They're teasing it. They are teasing it. Instead, we see Fried Ricer again. Go up against Sir Dumpling, and there's a lot of very good fight scene, and
it made me feel like this was more of a shonen anime than like a monster of the week kind of thing.
Ray, you did say there was a lot of good fight scene. Singular, and that was very funny to me.
You're welcome.
And I just wanted to acknowledge
I get to say something funny now. Are you ready? I get to say something funny, and nobody can stop me because I get to say something
Ray said something funny just a second ago, so now it's your turn to say something funny.
Right. I was actually really excited to say something funny. That's what I've been waiting for this entire podcast recording. But now I get to say something funny, and that's
I'm
great.
really
So I'm about to
excited.
say the
I'm
funny
really
thing.
excited
Oh
for you
my
to say
goodness.
something
Yeah,
funny.
it's
Like
so.
like,
you're gonna
honestly.
say something.
Hey, do y'all want to talk about toppings?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to talk about toppings?
Don't you mean power topping?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, power topping. Let's talk about power topping.
Let's talk about power topping.
To quote Claudia, it is it's time to top.
It's time to top.
So Python
Uh-huh.
introduces Chase to the concept of power toppings by throwing some bacon onto Sir Dumpling.
And then Sir Dumpling becomes more powerful.
And then Sir Dumpling becomes so powerful.
He also just becomes so epic because like bacon is like the most epic food.
Oslo states that he must have added a really good power topping on there, and he said, must be bacon.
Yeah. Like we don't even
must be.
We don't even know that it's bacon, but Oslo sure thinks that it is.
It's interesting. Okay, wait. Hold on. Wait.
Uh-huh.
So far, some of the most allegedly powerful things are both proteins and meats. Beefsteak and bacon are both meat protein. I want us to hold on to that for the future in case this becomes true and like there's a food
let's see
group,
how recurring
like,
this is.
category power structure.
We're gonna determine the way. We're gonna determine how to make the strongest food on.
Oh yeah,
The
absolutely.
final episode, we're gonna make the strongest food on.
Here's my promise to you, everyone listening, Ray, Marble, everyone listening at home. In the final episode, we are going to make a fighting foodon,
And then I'm gonna cook it.
And then Ray's gonna cook it. Apparently.
I'm gonna cook it and I'm gonna throw a meal ticket on it, and I'll show you what happens.
Do you ever think about how remember Epic Mealtime?
I do.
Remember Epic Mealtime? What if you put a meal ticket on one of their like 8 billion calorie like hamburger lasagna?
I would die
concoction
personally.
I think that's the cluster. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the cluster.
That's the food cluster.
Like
yeah.
if absolutely. If you do that, it just like it's like the end of Akira. Like it's
That's actually what happens in Akira. Is they put a meal ticket on Tetsuo's arm.
Fighting Foodons. Fighting Foodons, Akira, same universe.
But Marble, wouldn't the cluster be made out of granola?
So, can we talk about Sir Dumpling?
Who wants to do the voice? I
Hip,
think
hip,
we should
cheerio.
be doing voices every episode for the new Foodons.
Cheerio, everyone. I'm Sir Dumpling.
Sir Dumpling.
Pip,
Oh
pip.
my gosh.
Pip, pip, cheerio.
He just says things that, like, you know, like when people make those, like, Tumblr and Twitter posts that, like, make fun of British
Uh-huh.
and how they like, say, like, extraneous words and stuff. That's literally what Sir Dumpling says.
Sir Dumpling only does the extraneous words.
Now, what's interesting is that Sir Dumpling goes beyond just saying Sir Dumpling, but has certain catchphrases that are stereotypical British.
And doesn't Sir Dumpling, like, say a complete thought at some point?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember what.
It seems to me that there are levels of sentience among Foodons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for when Fried Ricer tells us about existential dread.
Right.
And it's like, why is a dumpling British?
Because, sir,
I mean, okay, but why is a dumpling British?
I can't give you an answer, Mars. I really can't.
You're asking questions that no one can answer.
No one can
that
answer
the dub
this.
team decided, or maybe they were British in the original Japanese dub too. I don't know.
I highly doubt that.
Don't think so.
Hang on. What is? I need to find a picture of Sir Dumpling.
Okay.
All right, I'm looking at him, and my problem is that, like, the dub team chose to make him British.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be partially based on his character design, but nothing about his character design implies that he would be...
Nothing at all. He's wearing some, like, a karate robe.
What's the Japanese name?
Oh god, is the wiki even gonna have that?
Probably not, but it
no.
might stem from the British.
Shumai.
Is that it? No,
Shumai?
no, shumai is just the name of the dish that it's based on.
Oh.
Okay, so the wiki says he belongs to Python and speaks in a stereotypical British accent, which may or may not be in reference to British-style dumplings. And then, and then says...
I already know where we're going.
And then says that it is based on shumai, which is a very Chinese dumpling.
Uh-huh. There's a lot going on with Sir Dumpling, then.
Yeah.
I think we can very, very clearly say that the decision to make Sir Dumpling British was a product of the dub.
Product of the dub, possibly
absolutely.
Because of British dumpling.
Anyway, they fight.
So they're fighting.
They're fighting.
Foodons. And
fighting Foodons.
Dumpling wins.
Dumpling wins.
Why is it that any time that I'm like, I want to do a theme song for a character, it is instinctively the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles melody?
That's just who you are.
I don't even like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, well,
okay, great. So, the podcast is over. It was really nice to, spend some good time with my friends, Ray and Mars, and make a good quality product for a season in 2 episodes. But I just found out that Mars doesn't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So,
yeah.
I guess this is where I show myself the door. Goodbye, everyone.
I've just never watched any of the shows or seen any of the movies, really.
Oh, okay. So it's not based on...
So you don't hate it based off of...
No.
You just don't know.
Okay,
that's fine.
Well, I guess I'll stay for now.
Close that door.
All right.
Close the door, give the door to me.
You keep me for one more day.
I'll put the door away.
One more week at least. We'll see.
Sir
Have
Dumpling
a good night. I'll probably kill you in the
topping.
morning, says Marble.
I would never say that!
I
would never!
So Dumpling wins because of power toppings, and then Clawdia jumps out of the bushes and then murders Sir Dumpling.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Almost, kind of.
Boulder broth.
Boulder broth, my favorite turtle friend.
Yeah.
Boulder broth.
It's a Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just a Pokemon. It's one of those Pokemon that is from Gen 1 or 2, and then people are all like, the new Pokemon designs are so bad, and then people are like, the Pokemon designs were always bad. Look at Boulder Broth.
Boulder broth was found in the beta sprites for Gen 2.
Gold Silver.
Yeah.
I love Boulder Broth.
I do love Boulder Broth.
Is my partner Foodon.
Yeah. Boulder Broth is apparently just based on soup broth, but it's just like...
And also the Kaiju Gamera.
Is Boulder Broth a turtle because of turtle soup?
Oh no.
Is there turtle soup?
At the very least, the shell is supposed to be like a bowl, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I don't like this. Let's move on.
Clawdia shows her claw and reveals that she's part of the Gluttons. Mm-hmm.
You can't just do that. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it.
I can do it whenever I want. And then Python's like, uh-oh, I messed up.
Yeah. And then Clawdia, here's the other thing about it, because you're right, Marvel, it is more of a shonen anime, because, Clawdia, Chase, Python, they're not really commanding their foodons at all. They're just alright, do your best.
Fight something.
Fight it.
You could do it!
Yeah.
And then sometimes they throw food at them.
Yeah, and then sometimes they throw food at them.
Yeah, so Fried Ricer and Sir Dumpling are down for the count, and then Chase uses power toppings to revive them.
Eggs.
And
Eggs.
In the morning, first thing that I do.
Eggs.
And Clawdia is about to use a power topping. I'm not entirely sure what happened here.
Yeah, no, this was a mess.
So
the
Clawdia throws the power topping, and it lands not on Boulder Broth, but on
the burnt
meatballs.
Right.
And
can I read the sentence in the wiki?
Yes.
She finally decides to top her food ion with a power topping, but her aim is about 7 feet off. I love the clarity. And then she tops the burnt meatballs.
She tops the burnt meatballs.
This is the part where she says time to top.
This is the part where she says time to top.
It's time to top.
It's time to top with power topping.
It's time to top.
They form a powerful stack, an impenetrable fortress of burnt meat. Then they fall apart. Sure.
Oops.
That's not
That's
that's not any clarification, but I do love that that it clarifies 7 feet off, and I do love the phrase "impenetrable fortress of burnt meat."
It's powerful. That's a powerful image.
Oh well, maybe next episode. I like that the wiki has some like character to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's got a little sass in it.
It does. There's some there's a point of view. There's a voice with this wiki.
Yes.
All right, and then for some reason Clawdia like goes after Omelette.
Yeah, she like tries to steal Omelette,
And like
which
this
is
further
weird.
proves that Omelette is probably the most powerful Foodon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Claudia says, "This Foodon's my only chance." Chance to what, Claudia?
What does that mean?
What's going on? What's happening? What is this show about?
What is the show about? I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was just bad editing and cuts, or if they're hinting at the fact that Omelette is a powerful Foodon.
I think
it was a mess.
Omelette might be Arceus.
Honestly,
Omelette might be the
Arceus.
original Foodon.
What if there was a Fighting Foodons movie?
What if there was a live-action Netflix adaptation
Oh my god, please.
with William Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe is Fried Ricer.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yes, that's fine.
Yes! 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 Yes!
I'm glad you like the
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Fighting Foodons 3, Spell of the Omelette. I can't wait for it in theaters.
So Claudia has a hard time keeping focus in this
A little bit,
episode.
yeah.
Like a lot.
So we should say that she was going after the Mac cart before she saw Omelette.
Mhm. And then
She let's take the sequence of events,
Mhm.
okay? So Claudia tricks Python into fighting Chase and Kayla to get back at them,
yeah.
supposedly.
Mhm.
And while this is happening, she I think she like trips on a rock and just face plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
happened.
she's not even walking. She just is stationary and she trips on a rock and face plants. She gets back up. Her evil machinations ensue. Python and Chase start fighting. When Fried Ricer is down for the count, she sends in Battle Broth, who is like waiting for orders, and he turns around and sees Claudia like playing with some string on the ground.
Yeah.
And is like, "Oh no." And then then Claudia tries to give Battle Broth the power topping and gives it to the burnt meatballs instead.
Her aim was about 7 feet off.
It was about 7 feet off, though, is the problem. She was trying to, but her aim was just about 7 feet off.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I'm out of options, so I'm going to go steal the Mac cart." But on the way to the Mac cart, she sees Omelette, gets heart eyes, and tries to take it from Kayla.
Yeah.
And it's so unclear what she's actually trying to accomplish at all, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all over the place, and I don't think she has a goal anymore at that point.
She tries to get Boulder Broth to roast Python and Sir Dumpling.
She is it at this point that she says, "All right, Boulder Broth, you're on your own."
Yeah.
Yes! Oh my god!
And I'm
Claudia!
like,
Claudia, you can't bestow sentience upon something and then abandon it. That's what Chef Jack did.
Marble!
And here's the great part. Those children that Jack left behind are going to teach Claudia the meaning of friendship.
Yeah, is Claudia gonna have a redemption arc?
Yes,
Oh,
she
please.
is. She absolutely is. I
Please.
can't wait.
I think she is. I legit think
I
she
can't.
is.
menacing.
I don't want to live in a world where Claudia doesn't get a redemption arc.
She's not menacing enough to be like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
She deserves a redemption arc, not just because she's
She
my favorite.
does.
Like,
This was So she tries to get Boulder Broth independently.
Yeah.
Decides to roast Sir Dumpling and Python, and Boulder Broth like shoots so much lava at them that they fly into a tree, and the tree gets cut in half.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
the force required to do that would have killed both of them.
yep.
For sure.
Oops.
Well,
But they're okay.
But they're
we don't
okay.
really know how physics work in this universe.
We don't know.
Maybe they're like
certainly a little different.
Python survived that.
Yes.
He shouldn't have survived that.
Python and Sir Dumpling both survived.
Mm-hmm.
and then Boulder Broth, Battle Boy shoots battle lava at them, and it's like, uh-oh, this is it, this is Python's gonna die. We all,
That's the end. This is the end of it.
Me, Ray, and Mars all said out loud, this is it, Python is going to die, because it's the only logical conclusion that I can draw from this episode. But we were surprised.
We were a little bit surprised because Chase...
He, grabs a frying pan, a very large one, and as the lava is headed towards them, he, stands in front of it and, splits it with his frying pan.
Yeah.
And it's, this very cool moment of, legitimately cool. I'm not making fun of it. He, stands in front of the lava with this frying pan, and he's like, we rebel chefs have to stick together.
Yeah.
And it was a nice
Anybody
moment
who opposes the gluttons has to work together, and I'm like...
solidarity.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Fighting Foodons. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Hell yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. And then the Mac cart transforms into something that shoots water out of it.
It gets wheels.
Physics, and then the laser physics, and it's...
I feel like we don't see the entirety of what it looks like.
We don't see the entirety of what it looks like. We see that it gets...
We see the corners of it.
We see that it gets wheels, but
yes.
the cart probably already had wheels, right?
They were wood wheels, and now they're metal wheels. That's not a joke.
We really don't know what happened.
The Mac cart is an enigma, still.
But it started shooting water out, and it
shoots water
it
out.
Did the cool anime
laser thing, yeah.
And it pushes the lava back towards
and then the lava pushes it back, and then it pushes back, and then, yeah. The anime
and
laser
then
thing.
the water overpowers Battle Broth and sends both Battle Broth and Clawdia blasting off again, and they do the little ding in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's also not a joke. Look it up. You can do it. You look it up if you don't believe me.
Yeah.
This is my podcast. You came here to be informed. If you don't believe me, look it up. Welcome to Deck of Confrontation.
Legitimately, I've seen there are a couple people who are watching along with Fighting Foodons, but I feel like for the most part, if we wanted to, we could just make up an episode of this show.
Yeah, we could just give you an entire episode where if we don't like a character, we can just edit them out of it, even though they are a central part of that story.
We should
arc.
do that at some point in the future.
Yeah, we never have before, but we should do it at some point. I feel like I relate to Clawdia more than anyone else thus far, and it's not just because of the cat girls thing. I cannot focus on anything.
Oh no, me either.
Also, you get blasted off into space whenever someone shoots a water hydrant at you.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever somebody pushes my lava attack back at me, and with their water attack, I do go blasting off again,
and then
then I go into the stratosphere and go ding.
Oh yeah.
And in the distance, we hear you say, "This isn't the last you've seen of Clawdia."
Yeah. Now, say what you want about Clawdia, because she is a villain. You can judge her character and stuff, but she is honest. That was not the last we saw of her.
She's also very dishonest in this episode.
I mean, yeah,
that is true. That is true. She's multifaceted.
She's multidimensional.
I would say that she's dishonest, but she is a woman of her word.
Yes.
A cat girl of her word.
Yeah.
That is. If she intends to do something, she's going to do it.
I think she's the most complex character we've seen.
Oh, Clawdia is, other than maybe Sir Dumpling, Clawdia is the most complex character.
Well, I was going to say beefsteak with all the different, parts of the recipe. It's pretty complex.
I mean, Beefsteak had so many memorable lines.
What was your favorite?
There was beefsteak, but also the classic line, beefsteak.
Oh, I love that one. That was so good.
And then, there was, of course,
It's really ridiculous that y'all are bringing this to the table when beefsteak had a line as good as
I mean,
I'm just saying, you can't overlook that.
There was that emotional monologue, and
oh, how did it go?
I remember.
Oh, you remember it? You remember it?
Yeah, it went beefsteak. And I started tearing up.
It honestly breaks my heart. It just honestly breaks my heart.
Well, they flesh out the villains a lot in this show.
They really do,
which is cool. Because it's we know the most about Clawdia, but then you also have Beefsteak here,
yeah,
delivering such wisdom as beef steak.
Stop! I'm gonna start crying again.
Yeah, it's...
I feel like it's meaningful. It says something.
Yeah, like
it's art.
You like don't be afraid of the confrontational nature of beefsteak's art.
Yeah, it's like recently they had that episode of BoJack, and by recently I mean like a year ago, where it was like really powerful because it was like a 24-minute monologue, and that was like a really interesting thing for a cartoon to do as like a visual medium.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like that because it just like conveys an entire story in 2 words repeated over and over and over again.
Yeah. I saw beefsteak
which
live
by the way,
once.
in case you were wondering, those words were beefsteak.
I saw beefsteak live once.
Oh my god.
This bit is a disaster.
Yeah.
No one.
we also can't leave. Like we're
I know,
stuck.
but there's no way out here.
No one wants to ask me about my beefsteak live show experience.
I really
How
do.
was the live show experience, Mars?
No, I get it. No, I understand.
What was your favorite song that Beefsteak played at the live show? Tell me. What was it? What was it, Mars?
Well,
I want to know. No, I want to hear you say it.
Welcome to Confrontation of Friendship again.
Beefsteak.
Damn, that's really powerful. I mean,
I missed that
darn,
one.
that's really powerful.
I really wish I saw the live show. I'll have to catch the next one. Speaking of beefsteak, let's talk about the men liking men representation between Ricer and Sir Dumpling.
Fried Ricer and Sir Dumpling are the best ship ever.
They're boyfriends.
I love them. Like,
That's it.
They had really good chemistry for
They honestly
being food
do.
and also not having words aside from their names.
Enemies to lovers.
Yeah, enemies to lovers, baby. That's
Love it.
Love that. Love it.
Enemies to lovers found FamilyTrope2019.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Python joins the team. The end.
Python joins the team.
That's
and
it.
now we have another character who might not get a line in the next episode. We'll see.
We'll see.
Do you think that they have like a snack stand on the train from Deck of Friendship?
Do you think what foods do you think are on the snack?
What do you think they serve on the train from Deck of... Like, I should iterate, it is a cargo train.
I have just because like my editing has gotten better, like the stuff that I do, you mostly can't hear the train from Deck of Friendship.
But it's always there.
So I usually edit the mentions of it out just because like you're not even hearing it.
It's in our hearts.
So you just put like the Thomas the Tank Engine sounds.
I can just add a train noise. Like I can just add a train noise. Like that's
you're allowed.
Yeah.
Just like whenever we mention the train from Deck of Friendship, just play like a low tune of Thomas the Tank Engine theme.
Okay.
In the background.
I will.
That's copyrighted.
I know, yeah.
It is, but is it copyrighted if I do the Biggie Smalls mashup?
It's probably still.
Now it's double copyright.
Yeah, there's so much copyright on it.
I've never seen any anime.
It stands for animals. New is maybe eat.
Animals new. Animals new is maybe eat. Hold on. Anime stands for animals new is maybe eat.
This isn't real.
You
have to keep this in. You have to keep this
No, it's in. It's already in. It's in.
One of the things on my history degree is very good at acrostics.
And cartoon stands for
cars are really tricky on our new stations.
How did you do that so fast?
I'm really good at acrostics.
I know you just said.
And acrostic stands for
all creeps are only stationary. I can't.
No, finish it.
Implementing cool sound waves.
Okay. All right. No, I'm with it. I'm with it. And what does anime stand for again?
Anime stands for animals new
is maybe eating.
Is maybe eats, yeah.
Animals new is maybe eats. Thank you so much for listening to Deck of Friendship. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating on iTunes, and we'll read it out loud on the show. Also, just sharing with a friend. And if you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter at FriendshipDeck. Our email is deckfriendshippod@gmail.com. And as we say every episode, animals new is maybe eat.